So this film has a good mixture of horror, drama, with some twists and turns, and surely to keep you interested the entire time. Let's jump into my review of the new film, Resurrection. What's up, folks, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're reviewing the film Resurrection, which is going to be in theaters July 29th, on demand digitally August 5th. Now, this film is directed and written by Andrew Siemens, which is important because there are other films titled Resurrection, so I want to make sure you watch the correct one that comes out this year, 2022. Now, this film stars Rebecca Hall alongside of Tim Roth. Now, Rebecca plays this character, Margaret. Margaret really has it all together on surface. And I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to that because while she may be successful, while she may be, the boss, while she is looked up to in a lot of instances, she still has a lot of inner turmoil. One of the biggest challenges in her life is the raising of her daughter, Abby. Abby is a teenager and doing all sorts of teenage things. And with that comes a little bit of complication between that mother-daughter relationship. Abby challenges her at times, and of course Margaret feels like she's the mother, so what she does is right and is always of best interest of Abby. Yeah, and that's very normal, and I think that a lot of mothers can attest to Margaret's complete theme of life, and that is, I'm doing everything for you and everything in protection of you, and I just want to ensure that you have a good quality of life, and I just try to provide as much as I can. That's really just her whole demeanor in everything she does. But at the other token, like I said, Abby's a teenager. Life is getting really big for her. She's getting ready to go to college, and with that also comes another challenge, because that also creates separation and whatnot. But with all of that, and while everything seems to be going normal, very steadily putting, even with the little wrinkles of things that are happening, Abby getting in trouble or lying and doing all these other sorts of different things. She even gets injured at a point, something more comes, and more being something of the past. Tim Roth's character David then appears, or shall I say returns, and with that brings back a vast amount of just bad memories, and a very, I want to say horrific, but a sense of danger, and just a sense of dread for everything that they have been through. Now, I gotta say, this David guy that Tim Roth plays, he's a very mysterious character. It's hard to talk about him because it's hard to know how to classify him. And that's because Margaret, you start to not, it's a confliction between reality and what potentially could be something that she is making up. So for 22 years, she's been struggling mentally and truly trying to figure out how to navigate life. And this is 22 years after her time spent with David. And and just to give a little bit more context, Margaret doesn't really hold healthy relationships in terms of dating. She has a partner that they frequently hook up, but nothing more of it. They got their roles, and that's that. But at the same time, too, she's really shelled off. And you can see when David comes back that seems to open up old wounds. But as I said, David is a hard read, but Margaret's also a hard read, because with all these different things, they're really triggering to her. So you're having these mental episodes where you cannot tell as the viewers as if this is realistic or is this something that she is just imagining. And that is a super thin line that the viewers have to tote this entire time. So, I gotta say, when you learn more about the struggles of her past and what created this trauma and ultimately this burden that she lives with, it makes sense. Completely respectable, completely understanding in terms of why she navigates life the way she does. and it's a really important factor to this film. I also got to give a shout out to IFC Films and Shudder, which where you can find this film once it becomes digital and streaming. They always acquire these themes, these films with very complex themes, and this is just another addition to their catalog of stories and films that you watch, and you kind of gotta peel it back slowly to kind of understand and dissect the events of things that are happening. So I gotta say, this is a film you probably have to watch twice, because once you figure it out once, once you think you figure out what's happening the first time, then you go back and you start to look for clues to kind of collaborate your story, your theory in terms of what's happening with David and Margaret. But with that, this film does get a little brutal at times, and there's this revenge aspect to it that just really takes the film to the next level, the next step. And even with that, it also highlights the importance of mental health. So, it's hard to tell who's the protagonist and antagonist in this film, because things get a little dicey at times. But when you watch it, you're just constantly trying to solve this mystery, this crime that has happened, and trying to make sense of everything. And the final act, honestly, is got to be the most bizarre of it all, because the final act does not give you the answers you're looking for. It actually probably gives you more question and more mystery, and I think you do have to go back to get more clues to kind of come up with a resolution yourself. And that's, I enjoy films like that, the ones that really make you put your think cap on, and obviously, when you start to think about Margaret, and for me personally, what I was able to conclude is that Margaret is just a troubled woman who's been trying to create the perfect world around her, and that's obviously something that she's building up in her head, and she hasn't been able to address her trauma. So when she's faced with her trauma, then things get really real to her, and she begins to self-destruct, and that could be problematic for her daughter, for her relationship, for her career, all sorts of different things that are going on here. So, this psychological revenge movie is one you definitely want to check out. And you can, in theaters, July 29th, and on demand in digital, August 5th. Check out Resurrection. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about this film. Let me know your theories as well. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.